Welcome to Python online classes. This is session 3 class, and here we are going to learn variable definition, expression, statements, value, comments, and indentation. So we'll see what is variables are reserved memory location that stores a value. So that means it's a reserved memory location in our computer which can be useful to store a value in our Python programming language. So it's just part of your computer memory where you can store your information. But let's take I have a CPU with me and I want to store a file in my computer. Then I need to have a hard disk. So hard disk contains some memory, and same way in your mobile phone also you will have some internal memory and as well as your external memory SD card. So there it contains some 8 GB, 4 GB memory, and based on that memory space you can store files. So if your memory card is 8 GB, then you can store files up to 8 GB only. And here same way in computer, so minimum memory nowadays we are using 500 GB hard disk, and we are using 1 TB hard disk also. Some advanced laptops are coming with 1 TB hard disk also. So based on that memory you can store the files, and same way in our Python program also we required a memory from the computer to store our variable. So variables are reserved memory locations. So computer will allocate some memory for that variables and the values. Every variable assigned to be name. So in my program I may have a n number of variable, as I said in last class. So to identify those variables I need to assign a name for each and every variable. So these names we can call it as a identifiers. So each and every variable, it will be that name is used to refer the value in the program. So initializing values to a variable. So for example we have three variables here. Val is equal to hello. So the variable name called val and hello, and variable name num is equal to 75, and variable name amt is equal to 12.65. So that means this part val, num and amt, these are the variable names. Memory location and variable names. Values to these variables are hello is a string, 75 is an integer, and amount is a float. How we can define variable and we can initialize the values to a variable. Now, what is an expression? Expression is a combination of values, variable, and operators that represent a value. Operands. So here expression is a combination of variables, operator, operands, and as well as value that represent a value. So what is here operator and what is operands and what is value? So we'll see. So here I have one expression called sum is equal to a plus b. We have the expressions. A is equal to plus 3, like sum is equal to b. Here is expression called sum is equal to a plus b. Here plus symbol is known as an operator. It's a mathematical operator. You can use plus, minus, into, divided by, etc. A and B both are variables and same known as a operands. So we have a after the is equal symbol, those things we can call it as operands. And sum is a variable name which can hold the value of this expression. Sum is a variable name which can hold the value of this expression called a plus b. We can call it as an expression. In Python we may have a n number of expressions. Some basic operators will use plus, minus, into, and or the values. Some values we have some values in the b. We'll see with the example. This PPT I will give you some example program also. So why do we need to use these operators? Operators are the constructs used to manipulate the value of operands. So we can manipulate the value of these operands. We can change the value. So here sum is equal to a plus b. So whenever I have a 2, 3, I will get output as a 5. If I pass a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 4, then some value will get changed. 6. So this is what happens with the expression. Now, statement. So Python statement is a unit of code that the Python interpreter can execute. So whatever unit code will write, that should be executed by the interpreter. That code we can call it as a statement. Any one line of code, we can simply call it as a statement. So for example, here I have some statements. X is equal to 5 is a one statement, and area is equal to x double star 2. Here we can call it as a assignment statement. Assignment statement. So print x. So x is holding a value as a 5, then it will print a 5. And I say print area. Area is a 5 double star 2 in the sense 5 square 2. And I will get output as a 25. Print x comma area. Comma in the sense I am printing both the values at a time. X value is a 5. And whenever I put a comma, it will add one space. Area value is 25, 5 comma 5 space 25. This is it. Statement is nothing but unit of a code which can be executed by the interpreter. So that we can call it as a statement. So you can write n number of statements in your program. Now, so what is value here? In mathematics and computer programming, a value is a data element that may be stored in a variable. So data element, so as I said earlier in the variable slide, so variable, it will store the value. Variable is a memory location which can be used to store some data. So data is nothing but some value. Same way here also, we are using the storing the data. So that data we can call it as a value. In mathematics or computer programming, the value is a data element that may be stored in a variable. So whatever we are storing in a variable, that particular data we can call it as a value. So value can be any type. So either it may be the numbers, or it may be the string, or it may be the floating point number, or it may be any kind of alphanumerical character, anything we can call it as a values. So here 1, 2 and 4, these are three different values. So whenever I assign these values to a variable, then that particular variable will hold the value, as like as previous slide. So here I am having some variable and this is a value. So x is holding a value called 5. So this is what we can call it as a value. Comments are the non-executable statements in a program. So all the statements, whatever will write in Python program, all statements will executable. But some of the lines I don't want to execute it by the interpreter. So such lines we can call it as a comments. Then why do you require a comments when the interpreter is unable to execute that particular statements? Then why do you require? So let's think I have written the 10 lines of code, and after writing this 10 lines of code, after few days I left that respective company and new employee assigned on my position. Then he does not know what's happening with that respective code. So what I will do, I will write all the entire code description in a comments so that he can read that code description and he can understand what's happening in the about 10 lines. So that's the purpose we can use the comments. So that's where the second statement is saying comments make the program easily readable and understandable by the programmer as well as other users who are seeing the code. So comments are useful to easily read and understand by the programmer. I can also read and understand in future, and as well as other users who are seeing this code. So anyone who is seeing that code, that particular person can understand that particular code easily. So that's where I require a comment. And in Python we have a comments in two types. So first type of comment is single line comments and second type is multi-line comments. So single line comment, to write a single line comment, we need to use a hash symbol, hash sign. So this particular sign here in statement number 3, this hash sign is useful to write a single line comment. For example, I will write this is a comment. So this line will not get executed. And print out hello. This line also will not get executed. And print hello, this will get executed. here this will not get executed. And this all the things here, my only executable statement is only one line, one statement, that is print hello, and remaining these three statements we can call it as a comments. So this will not get executed, but it is useful to understand. So what I can understand from these statements, this is a comment, I can simply understand that comment. And print out hello, I am printing out the hello, and print hello is a statement, and program ends here program will get ends. This is how I can understand the program in future. And next we have a multi-line comments. So whenever I need to write a description of a program in multiple lines, or I have a long description. So long description I can't write in single line. If I write the single line, then scroll bar will move out of the particular right side of the idle or file, source file. So to avoid that, what I need to do, I need to write a multi-lines of description. So whenever you want to write a multi-lines of description, you can use either single triple quotes or double triple quotes. So these single triple quotes, and these quotes we can call it as a double triple quotes. And this is the example of a multi-line comment. So here I have started a comment, triple quotes with a double triple quotes. This is also a perfect example of multi-line comments. This is my comment, and I ended here comments. So here is the starting of the comment, and here end of the comment. In single line comments, what I required only starting, because I don't have any next line. So this entire statement will be known as a single line statement. But in multi-lines, I have a multiple lines, so that's where I require the starting line comment, starting of the comment, and as well as the end of the comment. So this we can call it as a multi-line comment. And here you can observe the two notes in this slide. The first note says that a program can have any number of comments. That means in one program I can write multiple comments at a time. As I said in previous slide, in this particular program I have 3 comments. Same way, I can write multi-line comments also, n number of multi-line comments or n number of single-line comments in a single program. And second note, you can understand, read this second note. We can create a single line or multi-line string using triple quotes, single triple quotes or double triple quotes. So triple quotes are useful to create a single line or multi-line string also. So don't get confusion between the triple quote string and comment. So what is the difference between triple quote string and comment? I will tell you. So first we will see the example of the triple quotes single line string and multi-line string. So here example A is equal to and next line I am having happy learning. This is an example of multi-line string in Python. So if you want to create a multi-line string in Python, then you can create and happy learning. So this is what happens with this multi-line statement string in a Python. And example, second example, B is equal to RGKT. This is an example of single line string in Python. So single line string by using the triple quotes. In last class we have seen the creating a string with the single quotes or double quotes, but here I am showing creating a string with the triple quotes, triple single quotes. Now between this particular string and the comment, how can I identify whether it's a comment or string? So whenever you write some text, some multi-line text in between the triple quotes, either it's a single triple quotes or double triple quotes, and if you haven't assigned that text to a variable, then it's known as a comment. There is no assignment to this particular example to any variable, then it's a comment. If you assign the multi-line or single-line text, text to a variable, then it will become now string. If you assign this particular text to a variable, then it will become string. If you assign to any variable, then it will become a comment. That's the difference between comment and string. So simple thing, comment is no assignment to any variable. That we can call it as a comment. And string is assigned to a one variable. That particular text will be assigned to a one variable, that we can call it as a string. Clear? So now we move to the next slide. Indentation. What is indentation here? The white space, the beginning of the line is called indentation. Why do you require indentation in Python? And because the Python does not use square flower brackets for the block of code. So unlike C and Java, C++, Java, what they will do, they will use these braces to create a block of a code. Block in the sense of a code in one particular block. So Python does not use this brackets. So Python use to define a block of code, that is indentation. So Python uses the indentation. So indentation is, we can call it as a white space. So simply we can give white space by using the tab button. So spaces and tabs, here there is some spelling mistake is there. I will modify it. So here leading white spaces and tabs. So here is the tab button. So tab button at the beginning of the each statement, we use it to determine group of statement. It's known as the indentation. So if I have a group of statements, I want to make it as a block of code, then I need to use a white spaces or tab space, so that I can create an indentation in Python. Python, remember that Python mainly depend on indentation only. If you make any mistakes while writing a program in indentation, then automatically you will get an error. So I will show you how you will get an error with indentation in example session. And now we will see some example of indentation. So here is the example. So here I have a couple of lines of statements. If A is greater than B, print A is B. It's a block 1. Else print B is B. It's a block 2. For example, if statement type of code block. So this entire thing we can call it as a if block. Clear? Some correction. If starts with small I, uh, and print statements, all print statements in Python will be in parentheses. It will raise an error because we are using Python 3. So Python 2 does not require parentheses, but Python 3 is required parentheses. So here it's a block of code. If A greater than B, A is B, else B is B. This is a block 1 and this is a block 2. And A, B will hold some value. Clear? If expression evaluates first A greater than B, if it is true, then it will execute this block 1 code. If false, then it will execute the block 2 code. So one block can have multiple lines of codes. Obviously, blocks can have multi lines of code. This is an example of indentation. We'll see all the examples as variable, statement, expression, and as well as your block code, comments, everything, indentation, everything in our Python IDE. Okay. So that's about presentation. If you have any doubts, you can contact me through LMS or WhatsApp. So before ending this session, we'll go with the example program. So we have learned these six concepts in this PPT. That's the variable definition, expression, statements, value, comments, and indentation. So we'll see example of this all things. So I need to open my IDE. So I save this file as Python session 3 session3.py. So this is my Python file. So the thing we have learned is variable definition. So variable is nothing but the memory allocation, a reserved memory in your system to hold a value. So simply we can call it as a is equal to A is variable name and 10 is a value in variable A. So this is the first variable and value. Both the things are coming here. Clear? And now I say expression. So I will take one more variable. A is equal to 20 and C is equal to A plus B. So here what are the things are there? A comma B are operands. Is an operator. And next C the variable so this is C holding a value of A plus B. So that's a expression and statement, any single line statement we can call it as a statement. I say print A, it's a statement. It's a statement. And what are the things we have? Comments and indentation. So comments, I have a single line comments, so this I can call it as a single line comment. So I will write multi-line comments also. Multi-line comment. In example, A holding value 10, B is holding C is A plus B 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. So this is multi-line comment. This comment we can call it as a multi-line comment. Now I will have some indentation. I have seen some indentation is. So now I will write the code for the indentation also. If A less than B, A is equal to 10 and B is 20, then obviously it's a true. Print I will write something called true. Else print I say false. So this particular we can call it as a block 1 and this part we can call it as a block 2. If condition is true, then it will execute the block 1. If it is false, then execute the block 2. So I will write that comment also. If condition is is false, then it will execute block 2. So this is our code. So here in this file you can observe all the examples of today's session. So this is a variable and value. Here variable A and it's a value and it's a expression C is equal to A plus B where these two are operands and plus is an operator and it's a variable holding a value of A plus B and here it's a print statement, it's a single statement and it's a single line comment which can useful to using the hash symbol and multi-line comment here using triple quotes and you can write some double quote also and if A less than B print true and print is this we can call it as the indentation. So this is indentation. So this particular white space it's saying that it's a block of code and we skip example here that string with triple quotes. Yes, so I will create two more strings here. D is equal to triple quote or GKT and E is equal to triple quotes GKT is equal hello, good afternoon. So this is how you can create a strings with the single triple quotes and double quotes. Now I want to print all these things. So I say print what is here? Yes, so print B, print E, print ER, print G. So I will save this code before execution part. Once you look all the statements once again, I will go through from starting onwards because file is becomes very lengthy. Here A is equal to 10. It's a variable name A is a variable and it says storing a value called 10. The data which is storing is a 10 and B is equal to 20. Here B is a variable and storing the data as a 20 and C is equal to A plus B. This is example of expression. So where A, B are operands and plus is a operator and C is a variable and which holding the value of A plus B. And print A, this is an example of statement. So I am printing the A, so it will get output as a 10. And this is the example of single line comments. And I have used the single line comments here also. Whatever red color font you are saying, that's all single line comments. And this is a single line comment. And multi-line comments using the triple quotes without assigning to any variable. That we can call it as a multi-line comment here. And this using the white space before the statement, we can call it as indentation. So this particular thing we can call it as a if block, and these two lines we can call it as a else block. If condition is a true, then this block will get executed. If this condition is fail, then block 2 will get executed. In this scenario, I have A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. So this condition will get true. I will get output as a true. Next, I have a strings with triple quotes. Here I have a 4 strings D, E, F, G. D with single triple quote, and E double triple quote with a multi-line. Say single line string is single line string. This is a multi-line string. And same way, this is a single line string. And so these are the 4 strings. I am printing those 4 strings. Output here. So first I will get output as here A value is a 10. Output I will get a true. And next strings. CS. So I will print C also. So that I will get output as 30 also. So I will print C here only. Save. Execute this program. Here you can observe the outputs. What we are getting? We are getting 10 from this 10 is print A and this C. C is nothing but 10 plus 20. This true represents A and B is a true. That's why it's getting true. C represents RJKT and this hollow RJKTN represent hollow RJKTN happy learning represent to E. RJKTN happy learning is represent to E. Happy is represent to F and this hollow is represent to G. So these are the different outputs with this program. Now, as I said earlier, what will happen if you don't use proper indentation in your code? Think that I am removing this space in my block of code. So I save. Whenever I say save, Then I am not using any indentation here. After getting this colon, yes, so after getting this colon I am not using indentation, then automatically it will get an error. So I will run this file first. Expect an indented block. So this is what I am getting the error. Here we have a colon, so I require the block. So that's where you need to write there. And here I am getting the red mark. So I say OK, and I will say here I will make some modifications. So I am putting the indentation. I say save, and now module executing, no issues, same output I am getting. This is what happens with Python indentations and errors and how to deal with those errors. This is all for today's class, and if you have any doubts in PPT or else this example program, let me know through LMS or WhatsApp. That's all for today. Have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.